trial bigger than one man? What if I told you that a single trial could shake the very foundations of the music industry? When news broke that Sean Diddy Combs had been arrested on disturbing federal charges, the world was stunned. But no one could have predicted what happened next. Because this wasn't just a case about one man's downfall. Suddenly, some of the biggest names in entertainment were being pulled into the courtroom spotlight. Kanye West, MichaelBJordan, even Mike Myers, yes, Austin Powers, all named aloud in front of a federal jury. Some were former collaborators, others were linked through rumors, stories, or silent witness accounts. And a few, their connection is still unexplained. As the courtroom drama unfolds, it's becoming clear this case isn't just legal, it's cultural. A legacy is collapsing, reputations are on edge, and with every new name mentioned, the web gets harder to ignore. By the end of this video, you'll see how far the fallout goes, and why this trial could change the entertainment industry forever. The empire starts crumbling. For years, Diddy was considered untouchable, a self-made mogul, hitmaker, and kingmaker. But in late 2024, that empire was cracked open by a federal indictment that accused him of coordinating illegal conduct on a shocking scale. He's now facing charges linked to a network of coercion, control, and manipulation. The exact details? Too graphic for public records, but serious enough that 4 separate requests for bail were denied. He remains in custody at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. According to his legal team, Diddy has been cooperative from day one, even relocating voluntarily to New York as the case ramped up. His lawyers claim this is nothing more than a character takedown. They've called him flawed but not criminal, and say the truth will eventually clear his name. But the case isn't just about him. It's about everyone who was around him. Friends, artists, employees, even rivals. When jury selection began, the judge read aloud a list of names to potential jurors that sounded more like a celebrity guest list than a court document. Kid Cudi, Usher, 50 Cent. At first it seemed random, but as the trial progressed, the connections started surfacing. Some were minor, others were chilling. The trial had become more than a legal proceeding. It was a spotlight, one that was getting hotter by the minute. MichaelBJordan, the jealous trigger. Of all the names pulled into this high-profile case, MichaelBJordan might be the most surprising. He's not a music artist, not part of Diddy's inner circle, so why was his name brought up in court? It all goes back to Cassie. In November 2023, Cassie, Diddy's longtime ex, filed a headline-making lawsuit. Though the case was settled almost immediately, her testimony is now at the heart of the federal investigation. One part of her story involved Jordan. According to Cassie, she began dating the Creed star in 2015 after discovering that Diddy had allegedly reconnected with a former flame while she was away filming. Feeling betrayed, Cassie cut ties and moved on with Jordan, briefly. But Diddy didn't take it well. In court, Cassie said one of Diddy's staff members told her he knew about the relationship, and he was not pleased. MichaelBJordan has not commented, nor is he accused of any wrongdoing, but the very mention of his name revealed something deeper, a pattern of control. According to Cassie, Diddy didn't just monitor her during their relationship. He continued to follow her life even after she tried to break free. In this trial, Jordan's name doesn't suggest guilt. It suggests obsession. And it paints a picture of someone who struggled to let go, not just of a relationship, but of power. Kid Cudi, the exploding car. Back in 2012, Cassie briefly dated Kid Cudi during another rough patch in her relationship with Diddy. At first, it seemed uneventful, until things took a dramatic turn. According to Cassie's testimony, Diddy didn't just react with jealousy. He allegedly became furious. Then came a chilling detail. Around that time, she said, Kid Cudi's car exploded in his driveway. Initially dismissed as speculation, the claim gained weight when Cudi's spokesperson confirmed the incident to the New York Times, saying, "It's all true." No charges were ever filed, and the incident remains officially unresolved. But it raised serious questions. Cudi later testified that Diddy allegedly broke into his home in 2011 after learning about the relationship. His kitchen had been rummaged through, his holiday gifts were opened, and his dog was locked in the bathroom. No harm was done, but the message felt clear. I know where you are. I'm watching. It wasn't violence, it was intimidation. And in Cudi's words, it left a permanent mark. Kanye West, the collaborator or witness? Of all the names in this case, Kanye West might be the most layered. Despite Diddy's arrest, Kanye released a song featuring him in early 2024. No distancing, no disavowals. just public support. Why? Kanye hasn't commented. He hasn't testified, and no accusations have been made against him, but his silence speaks volumes. People wonder, was he present at events now under scrutiny? Was he aware of what was happening behind the scenes? We don't know. But in a trial defined by what people didn't say, Kanye's silence may be the loudest sound of all. Mike Myers and the Austin Powers mystery. When the name Mike Myers showed up during jury selection, confusion followed. What did the comedy legend have to do with a high-stakes federal trial? It turns out, not much directly. The court revealed that one of Diddy's former assistants, referred to as Mia, had previously worked for Mike Myers. She testified about how normal life had been while working for him. Structured hours, low stress, even some weekend dog sitting. It was an odd moment, but it served a purpose. The testimony drew a contrast between two worlds, the stability of her previous job and the chaos that allegedly followed once she joined Diddy's team. Myers was never accused of anything. He was simply a point of reference. But in a trial where every name matters, even a brief connection stood out. 50 Cent, Sugeknight, and the armed allegations. Cassie testified that years ago, Diddy once handed her a weapon after hearing Sugeknight was nearby. It didn't escalate, but the moment was enough to leave a lasting impression. Another assistant said Diddy pressured her after learning she had worked with Sug in the past, allegedly making threats if she didn't share every detail of her involvement. Then there's 50 Cent. According to testimony, Diddy told someone during a press event that he didn't enjoy back-and-forth drama and instead preferred weapons. The line felt like a warning disguised as a preference. 50's response? Classic trolling. He posted, cut. Wait a minute, Puffy's got a weapon? I can't believe this, I don't feel safe, LOL. It was funny until it wasn't, because now the jokes are part of the evidence. Michelle Williams, Usher, and industry silence. Michelle Williams was one of the earliest names brought up in court, not because of involvement, but because of familiarity. Jurors were asked if they knew her personally. That's it. But Usher? His mention came with far more weight. According to Dawn Richard, a longtime Diddy collaborator, Usher was allegedly present during a disturbing public altercation between Diddy and Cassie. The incident took place at a restaurant in 2010. Richard testified that Diddy became angry and allegedly hit Cassie in the stomach. She bent over, in pain, and no one stepped in. Richard said Usher was there. So were other members of the entourage, but no one acted. Usher has not responded publicly to the claim. He hasn't been called to testify. He's not accused of wrongdoing. But his reported presence paints a picture of a culture where silence was the norm and intervention was rare. Rita Ora, Lauren London, and the Outliers. Not every name dropped in court was part of a confrontation. Some, like Rita Ora, appeared in testimonies about seemingly minor incidents until they weren't. One night, Cassie went clubbing with friends, stylist Deontay Nash, Adrienne Bailon, and Rita Ora. Diddy reportedly lost it when he found out. The issue wasn't the company. It was that Cassie had gone out without him. Then there's Lauren London. After the tragic loss of Nipsey Hussle, she publicly thanked Diddy for being supportive during her grieving period. They were seen together at events and red carpets. She's not involved in the trial, but her name came up for one reason. She's part of the social circle, and that circle is now under a microscope. Even fashion designer Georgina Chapman was referenced simply because Diddy's assistant used to work for her. It's a distant connection, but one that carries symbolic weight in an industry still reckoning with its secrets. This trial isn't just about Sean Combs, it's about power, control, silence. It's about how far people will go to protect their status, and how many will look away when things go wrong. Names are being pulled into the spotlight, some willingly, some not. And with every new witness, the curtain gets pulled back a little more. So the real question becomes, if this is just the beginning, how much more is waiting to be exposed? I'm Allison, and this is The Social Press. Thanks for watching.